What's going on, y'all? Before I talk about literally any of these changes that you see for yourself on screen right now, I just want to clarify because I know for a fact this video is going to attract, competitively brain or minded, I guess I should say, players, because Palafin's a very, very popular Pokemon in competitive battling and stuff. Let's turn this up a little bit. Palafin's super popular in competitive, right? So I get it. So look, I know there's going to be a tons of competitively, oh my god, he buffed Palafin. What? Chill out. This is a ROM hack, all right? If you don't know anything, if this is your first video, first of all, shout out to you. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you clicking on the video. Don't click off, all right? Give the video a pause. There is a lot of detailed information in the description down below regarding just what the hack is about, how I approach balancing, all that fun stuff. So give that a little read. It's bullet pointed. It's pretty easy to understand. It'll answer a lot of your questions as to why things are balanced the way they are. And of course, you can watch my other videos. You can check out the Google Sheet for yourself to look at all the other changes, all that fun stuff. With that being said, though, Palafin, Palafin. So I chose not to make them a water fighting type. They could have been, but honestly, okay, first off, I'm just gonna get this out of the way. I don't like Palafin at all. I think it's one of the ugliest fucking Pokemon ever designed. I fucking hate this guy, dude. He looks like like this is not what a. He's so like weirdly shaped, and I just hate everything about him. I hate everything about him. The concept is great. Concept is fucking dope. But everything else, execution, design, I hate it, man. He's so ugly. I hate his stupid hands, his fucking tail. I don't get it. He doesn't make any sense. His like proportions and body are hideous to me. Regardless, though, that's not going to change me from giving him cool little tools and new things to do, because everything is, given cool new tools in this ROM hack. So Palafin, stat-wise, you're wondering why they. Oh my God, he decreased the defense and speed for what? Sometimes I like to just make the numbers look nice. 106, 160, 96, 106, 96, 96, 660. It's just cool. That's literally it. He is slightly bulkier. I mean, on the HP wise, he's bulkier overall. So yes, he is bulkier. So it is technically a buff, despite the -1 defense and the -4 speed. Oh my God, the speed tiers are not as important. This is not competitive. Speed tiers are much more lax. Not to mention you have tons of ways to counteract speed in game. There's tons of prep. You're fighting AI. You're fighting predetermined boss teams, right? So what I actually want to talk about here is how the form changing ability works. So with Palafin, when you can optionally evolve. You have Finizen, which you can optionally choose to evolve at level 40. You could also keep Finizen because it is actually pretty tanky and relatively strong, and you can run it under rain or something. And it's a pretty strong, pretty tanky mon in rain. And it's very fast compared to Palafin in rain. So there is definitely some use case to keep Finizen for a bit if you have a rain, if you have a rain mon on your team or you like running rain a lot or whatever it is. So I would definitely keep Finizen at least for a little bit in that case, or if you need the extra bulk for a specific matchup or something. But otherwise, Palafin is obviously very strong. So what the beauty is of first of all, Justified fits perfectly flavor-wise, right? So what happens is you use Zero to Hero, and then you switch out, and you switch back in, and now you're changed forms, and you have Justified now. So what you can do is you can use one of your other 5 Pokemon to bait a Dark move, which is relatively common coverage on the AI's team. Not to mention there's like bosses that use even more dark moves, like I don't know, fucking Giacomo or something. He would go crazy. But in general, I mean, there's a good amount of dark moves in the game, so you switch in on one of them, you get that +1 boost. Now you have +1, 160 base attack Aqua Jet, and then later on in the game you get Jet Punch, which is stronger. It's 75 base power now. However, there are tons of other high base power priority moves like that in this hack, and the nerf here is that you can't use it twice in a row. So and there's also no Protect. So, and if you're wondering why the fuck there's no Protect, go to the move guide after you watch this video, or just pause the video right here, and you can read all this information, okay? And there's even more elaboration I could give, but yeah. So pause the video and read that if you're curious why Protect is gone for the player. There's a specific Pokemon that keeps Spiky Shield and Baneful Bunker, but again, read it if you're curious. So yeah, this guy's great. Palafin, again, justified at that +1 boost late game with that Jet Punch, or even with like a Scarf or Quick Claw or Agility with the justified boost. I mean, he goes crazy, dude. Another cool thing is that Surging Strikes is another move that you can't use twice in a row. It's nerfed in that regard. So that synergizes really well with Jet Punch, so you can alternate between those two moves. Not to mention, both Surging Strikes and Jet Punch always crit, so you can use those in conjunction with Hydro Assault, which is now physical Water-type Draco Meteor. Which will drop your attack, and then you can use Jet Punch and Surging Strikes to counteract that attack drop. So all of that is super, super sick. I mean, there's so many cool things you can cook with this guy. I don't like him, but I mean, he's cool. He's very tanky. Pure Water is nice. Obviously, Water Fighting would be better offensively and give him more resistances and definitely be better overall, but at least in an in-game context where weaknesses are not nearly as big a deal, and they're easily counteractable. Not to mention Terra exists too and all that other stuff. But I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of water fighting types already in the game, so I figure just let them stay pure water. I did give them superpower, which is water type, physical fighting type Draco Meteor now. So that's and on evolution at level 40. That's super strong and obviously very fitting flavor wise. So you get some really strong fighting move early on. Tons of other fighting moves as well, as you can see in the TM pool. Takedown, later on close combat. You've got Drain Punch, Brick Break, all that good stuff. Powered, you've got Vacuum Wave. Also, I guess I could give Mach Punch on evolution as well. Just for the hell of it, it does fit. I could even give Bullet Punch too, but yeah. Oh, that's the wrong color. Man, there's so many different little shades of. This is what I have to deal with, y'all. This is fucking, because fucking Google Sheets doesn't let you, does not let you delete colors. Otherwise, I would love to just have an actual list of the ones that I actually use. A bullet, not bullet, see, bullet punch. I will add those later in a second. I just have to extend this a bit now to make that fit. Alright, and now I have to decrease this a bit. Anyway, so back on topic. Justified, very strong and very cool because, again, you switch out to trigger the ability, and then you switch back in to trigger Justified. Not to mention, you can also just rack up more Justified boost if the Pokemon's going to keep... You could use, like, Justified Rehydrate. Rehydrate is water type recover with a bulky set, like max HP defense, and just sit in front of, like, a physical dark type attacker, or vice versa, but special, and just go crazy with that, too. So that's super fun. Very fun mon. I gave him very strong special water moves early on because I want to encourage that mixed attacking. Of course, it's 106 versus 160, but when you have move relearner and all that stuff, and specific coverage moves that you don't get, like for example, not too many actually in this case. I was gonna say a list of. I mean, it's like Terrain Pulse and Weather Ball. If you have weather or terrain on your team, then you can get some unique coverage moves like electric or grass. Or I mean, you already have grass not on the physical side, but I don't know, electric and rock and. Psychic, you already have Psychic, Noisance, and Headbutt, so... Is there anything else I'm missing? Fire, obviously, and Rain and Sun. Yeah, that's it. Everything else you have already. Okay, but yeah, the point is you get Hydro Cannon, which is Water-type Draco Meteor, and then Torrential Pulse, which is special Water-type Wicked Blow. Same as Surging Strikes, can't be used twice in a row, okay? So that's the downside there. It is also weaker than Hydro Cannon. But yeah, super sick moves. Again, level 40, 106 with special attack, 140 base power move. I mean, it's super strong. Of course, you've still got your classic, flip turn. You've also got Baton Pass for slow pivoting, which is now negative priority, Baton Pass. And then also U-turn, which is a nice little coverage option over flip turn for certain boss fights and matchups, because again, you have the hindsight of prep in a ROM hack like this, so you can always change your stuff. Also, I didn't cover the tactical retreat, my bad. So flavor-wise, I mean, it makes sense. Like, his whole thing is like having to switch out. I mean, it's cute. He leaves, he switches out. It's a cute little ability choice on him. But the main use is that, so because you might be thinking, why would I ever run that? You have, your Palafin. So this game's balanced around Teamlocked. Read about what that is in the description. For certain boss fights, instead of running hero form, you might just need a pivot, and that's literally it. Especially because Finizen has Finizen and Palafin Zero form, which have the same stats. If that's not obvious, I have two disclaimers, but people are illiterate, so they might not have caught that by now. Yeah, same stats. And it's pretty tanky. I mean, pretty tanky, pretty strong. I'll get into Finizen. I mean, Finizen up to level 40 is totally great. It's tanky, it's fast, it's very strong with Hustle. You got Hustle Dive. Dive won't miss and gives you +1 accuracy. So not only can you spam dive all you want, but you also get that boost. Yeah, super sick overall. You got tons of great coverage. I mean, you can read and look at what all these are, but you've got tons of cool various options for certain matchups. If you get like Terra Normal, shit like Boom Burst and Double Edge could be kind of cool. Not to mention 120 base power moves at level 27 is pretty strong. But yeah, Hustle Dive, Hustle Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet won't miss either. So that's super great. Yeah, and then of course Wide Lens is now buffed, so that way it will never miss with Hustle. So you can run regular old, Liquidation and Hoodwink and all these, Bounce and all these other physical moves and Iron Head and all this crap, right? And you won't miss. Also, Hustle, Flip Turn, and U-Turn also don't miss. So Flip Turn, Aqua Jet, Dive are very good stab moves that don't miss with Hustle, so that's super great. Not to mention 80 base attack. I mean, it fits flavor-wise. It's a Dolphin. It's not like the most aggressive-looking Dolphin, but it still can like headbutt you and hit, relatively hard. Bulky as hell. I give it the same HP as Palafin because of just flavor reasons. Finizen's not that big, and I try to base HP more on size, but like it's fine. I mostly just wanted Finizen and Palafin Zero form to have the same stats because they are literally the same exact thing until they change forms outside of the little heart on the chest. So I think them having the same stats makes a lot of sense. And yeah, so the point of tactical retreat on Palafin is that for certain matchups you might want to switch your ability to that. For certain matchups only, that's it. It's just a niche little, once in a while I might need a pivot or something. That's literally it. People are going to be like, why would I ever use that? And it's like, dude, you have 3 abilities, for a reason. And again, balanced around Teamlocked. So there will be situations where you might be forced into using something like Tactical Retreat on Palafin. However, keeping Finizen for that Swift Swim, definitely worth it. Again, it's much faster. I said that at the beginning of the video, so I'm not going to repeat myself too much. We've got tons of nice utility with debuffing moves in the form of Charm and Befriend. Befriend being Special Charm. Play Nice, which is Priority, -1 special attack. Basically special baby doll eyes, right? Tickle, all this cool little stuff that you can make use of. Pretty versatile mon, very fun. It's got all the priority that I just added it. I forgot to give them Mach Punch and Bullet Punch. I can't lie, they should totally get those because they already have Jet Punch, right? Which is all the super fast punch. So, yeah, Jet Punch, Aqua Jet, Mach Punch, Bullet Punch, First Impression, and Sucker Punch, all priority moves that he gets access to, which is cool. Of course, for certain and Vacuum Wave, I didn't say that, but yeah, for certain matchups you might, and Swift as well. But I mean, that one's obviously incredibly niche. Maybe if you got Terra Normal or some shit, you could use it though, if you are pulled Terra Normal. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for listening. I could talk a little bit more, but honestly, I think it's that simple. Again, getting that Justified boost on a switch in goes absolutely crazy. So definitely a good ability for this guy. Because everything, deserves some sort of cool new tools in his hack, even if the mon was good in vanilla. I mean, base Palafin wouldn't be terrible or anything, but there are Pokemon that are still like much crazier than this. Like obviously the stats, like people see big numbers and lose their mind, but they're really not that crazy in an in-game ROM hack sense where everything is buffed. Obviously in competitive it's a crazy mon, but yeah, that's about it. Thank you for listening. I could cover some more stuff. If you have questions, leave a comment, I'll answer them. But of course, please read all the shit in the description before you leave a comment if you're new and you don't know what this is, because yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, shout out to you. I appreciate you very much. Also, I guess the last thing I can address is the Surging Strikes, although anybody who's listening this far into the video definitely knows already that it's like a widely distributed thing, and anybody who thinks that's stupid and like, you gave Palafin Surging Strikes for the receiver, any, fucking dumbass who just clicks on this video with no context, probably already clicked off, so I'm not going to waste my breath explaining, but it definitely fits him fine, and yeah, is a normal distributed tool in this hack, and it's also weaker than Wave Crash and Hydro Assault and all these other physical moves you get anyway. And can't be used twice in a row. So stuff like Scarf Aqua Tail, for example, is definitely situationally much better than Surging Strikes or Scarf Wave Crash for certain boss fights, just to outspeed things. But yeah, thank you for listening. I'll be back for more coming up. Yep. I'm just trying to debate if I missed anything, but I think I'm good. I think I covered everything. So appreciate you watching, and I'll be back for more coming up. Peace. Leave a comment.